Hi students, in this video we will learn how to balance a chemical reaction. So before we start balancing a chemical reaction, we need to have some basic knowledge about the compound or about the molecules. For example, H2O. How many hydrogen are there in this molecule? Number of hydrogen atom is 2. How many oxygen atom are there in the molecule? This is number 1. I'll take another example, CaCO3. How many calcium atom is there in the compound? Only 1. How many carbon atom are there in the compound? This is also 1. How many oxygen atom are there in the molecule? This is 3. Now, for example, calcium nitrate, CaNO3, whole twice. So now tell me, how many calcium atom is there in the molecule? Only 1. How many nitrogen atom are there in the molecule? This is number 2. And how many oxygen atom are there in the molecule? This is number 3 into 2, that is 6. So why the number of oxygen atom is 6? Because we need to multiply this 3 with this 2. So the number of oxygen atom will be 6. So these are the basic knowledges we need to have to balance a chemical reaction. So in the today's video, we will balance the chemical reaction using heat and trial method. Okay. So let's take an example. H2 plus O2 gives H2O. So I think you know these H2 and O2 are called reactants. These are what? These are reactants. And this is what? This is the product. So what is actually balancing? Balancing means what? We need to equalize the number of atoms in the reactants and products. Okay. So how many hydrogen atom are there in the reactant? How many hydrogen atom are there in the reactant? You tell me. This is 2. How many hydrogen atom are there in the product? This is also 2. So see, hydrogen is already balanced. Now we will check the number of oxygen atom in the reactant and product. So how many oxygen atom are there in the reactant? Only 2 oxygen atom are there. And how many oxygen atom are there in the product? Only 1 oxygen atom is there. So we need to multiply by 2 before this H2O molecule. Remember one thing, before we put the value, please make sure that you cannot change the formula of the compound. You cannot place 2 in this position. Okay, you have the right to put 2 before the formula only. Okay, that means we cannot place 2 in this position. So as I have placed 2 before the H2O molecule, so number of hydrogen atom is now increased in the product side. So what is the number of hydrogen atom in the product side? This is equal to 4 now. Okay, this is equal to 4 now. So again we have to balance the number of hydrogen atom in both the side. So how many hydrogen atom are there in the reactant? Only 2. So we need to place 2 before the H2 molecule. So now we can see the reaction is balanced. Okay. So at last we will check the chemical reaction. How many hydrogen atom are there in the reactant? 2 into 2, that is equal to 4. How many hydrogen atom are there in the product? This is also 4. And how many oxygen atom are there in the reactant? This is 2. And how many oxygen atom are there in the product? This is also 2. So now the reaction is balanced. Okay. We will try the next reaction. N2 plus H2 gives NH3. So how many nitrogen are there in the reactant side? How many nitrogen are there in the reactant side? Only 2. And how many nitrogen are there in the product side? Only 1. So what we have to do? We have to place 2 before nitrogen atom. Now, what is the number of hydrogen atom in the product side? What is the number of hydrogen atom? So these 3 multiplied by these 2. So what is the number of hydrogen atom? That is 3 into 2. That is will be equal to 6. And what is the number of hydrogen atom in the left side or in the reactant side? This is equal to 2. Therefore, the total number of hydrogen atom is not balanced. So how we can balance? We need to place 3 before H2. Okay. So at last, what is the nitrogen atom in the reactant side? 2. What is the nitrogen atom in the product side? 2. What is the hydrogen atom in the reactant side? That is 6. And what is the hydrogen atom in the product side? This is also 6. This is the number. The reaction is balanced. Again, KClO3 gives KCl plus O2. How many oxygen are there in the reactant side? Only 3. How many oxygen are there? This is 2. So, what is the LCM of 3 and 2? What is the LCM of 3 and 2? That is equal to 6. That means we will place 2 before oxygen atom in the reactant side. So now what is the number of oxygen atom? That is equal to 6. What is the number of oxygen atom? That is equal to 6. Okay. And what is the number of oxygen atom in the product? That is only 2. So I can place 3 before the oxygen atom. So at the product side also, the number of oxygen atom is 6. Now the oxygen atom is balanced. Now as we have placed 2 before potassium, so the number of potassium ion will be what? 2. So here, but in the product side, the number of potassium ion is only 1. So we can place 2 before KCl. Okay. So now potassium is also balanced. Potassium in reactant side, we have 2 potassium, and in the product side, we have also 2 potassium. Now we will check for the chlorine atom. So what is the number of chlorine atom in the reactant side? Only 2. And what is the number of chlorine atom in the product side? That is also 2. Okay. So therefore the reaction is balanced. Okay. Remember that we cannot change the formula while solving a chemical reaction. The formula will remain constant. We cannot change the formula of the compound. I can place any number before the formula, but please remember that we cannot change the formula of the chemical compounds. Okay. Next one is Al2O3 gives Al plus O2. So again, how many oxygen are there? 3 oxygen. How many oxygen are there? 2 oxygen. We will place 2 over the Al2O3. The number of oxygen atom becomes 3 into 2, that is 6 in the reactant side. And in the product side, what is the number of oxygen atom? That is only 2. So now what we have to do? We have to place 3 before that, so that the number of oxygen becomes 6. So what is the number of aluminum atom in the reactant side now? 2 into 2, that is 4. Now in the product side, only 1 atom is there. So place 4 before that. The aluminum atom will become 4. Now aluminum and oxygen both are balanced. So the reaction is balanced. Okay. So what is the technique we are using? We are using heat and trial method. Again, AgNO3 plus Cu, this is copper, gives copper nitrate plus silver. So now this is what? This is silver nitrate. This is silver nitrate. And this one is the nitrate ion. This one is the nitrate ion. So nitrate ion is present in the reactant as well as in the product. Okay. Same NO3 ion is present in the reactant as well as in the product. So we will consider this NO3 ion as a whole. Okay. We will not break this NO3 ion. So what is the number of NO3 ion or nitrate ion in the reactant side? This is only 1. Okay. What is the number of NO3 ion? The reactant side? This is only 1. Okay. In the product side? This is 2. So what we have to do? We have to place 2 before NO3 so that the nitrate ion can be balanced. Okay. So what is the number of nitrate ion in the reactant? That is 2. And in the product also the number of nitrate ion is 2. Now what is the number of silver ion in the reactant side? What is the number of silver ion in the reactant side? Silver ion is 2. And the product side only 1. So we will place 2 before that. So again the silver is also balanced. Now copper, check for the copper. Number of copper ion is 1. Here also number of copper ion is 1. Okay. So all are balanced. Therefore the reaction is balanced. Next, this is also easy. Iron, okay. Iron reactant product. Okay. What is the number of iron in the reactant? Only 1. And what is the number of iron in the product? That is 3. Therefore, we will place 3 before the reactants. So the number of iron is 3 in the reactant and the product also it is 3. Okay. Now, what is the number of oxygen atom? What is the number of oxygen atom in the reactants? Here, this is 1 oxygen. So how can we balance? We can place 4 before that. Okay. So the number of oxygen will be 4 and the number of oxygen in the product will also be 4. So oxygen is also balanced. Now, what is the number of hydrogen atom in the reactant? That is 2 into 4, that is 8. And what is the number of hydrogen atom in the product? That is only 2. Therefore, I can place what? I can place 4 before hydrogen atom to make it equal with the reactant. So this is also balanced. Therefore, the reaction is balanced. Okay. See, this is also very important and easy also. Nitrate ion, how many? 2. Here also only 1. So place 2 before that. What is the number of potassium ion? This is 2. So just place 2 before that. Now, what is the number of iodine? Iodine, 2 iodine. And the product, this is also 2 iodine. What is the number of lead in the product? 1. And what is the number of lead in the reactant? This is also 1. So this is also balanced. Okay? The reaction is balanced. See, HCl plus MnO2 gives MnCl2 plus H2 plus Cl2. Okay, fine. What is the number of oxygen atom here? The reactant. The reactant number of oxygen atom is how much? This is 2. And in the product, number of oxygen atom is how much? This is only 1. So multiply by 2. I can get 2. So here we have to multiply it by 2. So now as I have multiplied the whole molecule with 2, so what is the number of hydrogen atom? So number of hydrogen atom becomes 4. So the number of hydrogen atom becomes 4 in the product side. Now in the reactant side, what is the number of hydrogen atom? This is only 1. So we will place 4 before that. The number of hydrogen atom in the reactant side becomes 4. Now it's time to balance the chlorine atom. Okay. So what is the number of chlorine atom in the reactant? 4. What is the number of chlorine atom in the product? Here see 2 and here also 2. Therefore total the number of chlorine atom is 4. This is also balanced. So now here PbNO3 whole twice. PbNO3 whole twice. So in the reactant side and this is the product side. Okay, so starting from nitrogen, okay, we will start from the nitrogen atom. How many nitrogen atoms are there in the reactant? This is 2. And how many nitrogen are there in the product? This is 1. So multiplied by 2. Okay, so now nitrogen is how much? So the nitrogen is 2. This is balanced. Now, what is the number of oxygen atom? In this molecule, the number of oxygen atom is 4, plus here the number of oxygen atom is 2, plus here the number of oxygen atom is 1. Okay, so total is 7. Why? Because this is an odd number. That means there is some problem. What we can do now? We can place 2 before lead to make oxygen 2. So now what is the number of oxygen atom? This is 8 now. Okay, so as I have placed 2 before lead, we have to place 2 here also. So what is the number of lead atom? So number of lead atom is 2. Okay, what is the number of lead atom? Lead atom is 2 in the reactant. Now what is the number of nitrogen atom? You can see. What is the number of nitrogen atom? Number of nitrogen atom is 2 into 2. Okay, number of nitrogen atom is now 4. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to cut these 2 and I have to place 4 here. Okay, so that the number of nitrogen atom is 4. So nitrogen is balanced now. So what is the number of oxygen atom here? What is the number of oxygen atom? What is the number of oxygen atom? Okay, this 3 into this 2 into this 2. Okay, so this is 12. 12 number of oxygen atom is present at the reactant. And what is the number of oxygen atom present in the product? From here we will get 2, and from here 4 into 2 8, and from here only 2. Okay, so 8 plus 10 plus 2, that is 12. Okay, so oxygen atom is balanced. So the number of oxygen atom is balanced now. Okay, so we will cut this whole thing and the number of oxygen atom in the product will be equal to how much? 12. So nitrogen is balanced, oxygen is balanced, and lead, how much lead is there? This is also 2. This is the balanced chemical equation. So these are some reactions. Those are for homework. So you please solve those and send it to me. Okay. Thank you.